जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Hyderabad Punjab Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो.
For most parts of this game, it felt like a chess game where, well, neither opponent wanted to get the other checkmate because Delhi were fielding very badly. Yes, they bowled very well up front, but they were fielding very badly. Atharva Taide was very slow, which put on a lot of pressure towards the end. Delhi won by 16 runs finally, and well, Punjab's playoff chances look very bleak now. 15 runs, I'm sorry. Delhi won by 15 runs in spite of Livingston's 94 of 48. Punjab couldn't climb that tall mountain, Lisa.
No, they couldn't. They got a lot closer than probably what people thought at the 10 over mark. I think we were talking in the comm box about potentially, the required run rate going up. It was Liam Livingston was the one that got them close, but he needed someone to come with him. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. You needed someone to be striking it at that 145 plus. And then even though he was retired out...
Too late
by that time. And there was just too much work to be done for someone like a Jiti Sharma and Shah Rukh Khan, who's known for his six hitting. He hasn't necessarily fired throughout this whole tournament as well. So a huge ask for the next players to come in.
Joy, you spoke with a lot of passion about Atharva Taide's knock because we thought he'd shift gears now, but he just didn't seem like he was getting his hands.
You cannot, in a chase where you're supposed to score at about 185, 190 strike rate, you cannot have a set batsman go at 130.95, which is what he went at. That's the basic problem. The problem is that it's just too many balls. And you've chewed up 7 of the overs. That means more than a third of your overs are being faced by this one guy who's batted at 131. And that's the end of your chase as far as this is concerned. I completely agree with Lisa. He should have been retired much before. Because, see, you're sitting outside, you're seeing the rate go up. Moment that rate touches 14, 15, he had to go out. They waited for it to go up to 17, 18. By that time, you're taking ridiculous risks. One bad over and it finishes off. But I'll tell you one more thing. There are 2 other factors that finish the over. You look at it, that run rate of 14. In that run rate of 14, 17 the last over, 16th over and 19th over bowled by Nokia for how many runs?
5 and something, right?
It's 5 and 7, 12 runs.
Wow.
12 runs going at 6 and over when your team has gone at 14 in those 5. So it tells you how much the other 3 overs have gone for. Because if they've got 70, that means 58 have come off 3 overs. 58 of 3 overs. So if Nokia was not there today, this could have been a very different result.
Yeah.
And of course, Harpreet Brar bowling the last overs. There's so many places where you look at this match and said, it turned here, it turned here. And all those combined may have still not worked had, Livingston's third swing just hit the ball. It might have gone for 6.
But too late. We spoke about him getting retired out. There was Jitesh to follow, Shah Rukh to follow, Sam Curran to follow. So big hitters to follow. It wasn't like there was no one coming after him.
No, you're right. But literally it gets to the point of 18, 19 runs and over. And that's just, I think that's too much to ask for a new batter to come in and go from ball 1. They needed like a 20 to 25 run over probably in the first half of the second 10, just to kind of get them going, right? And once that happens, then it puts so much pressure on the opposition and the bowlers, and you start seeing the skipper going, okay, well, who do I turn to now? And then they start calculating, they start kind of working backwards. Who's going to bowl my last over, my 18th, my 19th? And there's so many things going on in people's heads. That's where you can get some little mistakes that go to work in your favour. But the problem was that they waited past that 15 over mark and it was just too much to do. Yeah. So they needed to do it from the 10 to 15 over mark. That's when they really needed to put their foot on the accelerator just to cause a bit more panic. And we've seen teams under pressure, chasing, back end. It's easier to chase. That's why all teams win the toss, bowl first, because the pressure sometimes gets too much.
Well, Joy, in the com box, I was saying that it's not Lisa, it's Nostradamus who's joined us today, because yesterday, actually, Lisa predicted that it will be Livingston's day. She said that she feels it's going to be his day. Then today she came in and said that there will be a lot of catches dropped. And well, I don't think I lost count of the number of catches dropped because of the thin air. And she also got the predictions right. So there's a lot that Lisa's got going
Well
right.
done,
Well
well
done, Lisa.
I knew this would come in handy.
I don't know what's in that book.
All that homework.
All that homework. So a little bit on your homework and Livingston, because we spoke about how he's not had that big score. Yes, he got that 70 plus in I think the KKR game, but 94 of 48 at striking at 195 when there was not too much happening on the other end.
Yeah, it was really his show, and like I said, it was only him that was going to kind of compete with Riley Russo in their performance in getting Punjab up to the mark. He's going to have to buy probably Anrik Nokia a drink to say thank you very much, because he was walking back, actually. If you saw the vision, he hit it and went, I've hit it to one guy who's not going to move that far, I might as well pack my bags, and then turned around and went, yeah, no, that happened. So, but apart from that, like, this is what we love about Liam Livingstone. And I remember actually, maybe it was last year, speaking to Vorney, and he was saying that literally he's come across him back at home. And he's a guy that just loves to go down to the local pub and just be around his mates. Like, he doesn't overthink too much. But as he kind of goes through and gets more mature, there's more expectation on him to score. When you're young punk who has this kind of free-flowing game, everyone goes, great, he's going to work every now and again, like a Harry Brooks.
Yeah.
But now there's an expectation, and he's probably failed in delivering, but it's good to know that, we got to see at the front end and at the back end, the bookends of what Liam Livingstone can do. So I hope this is good signs for him for future IPLs.
Yeah, Joy, it was at 82 against Mumbai. I was wrong when I thought it was Calcutta, because when you sit here, I think it's all Kolkata, but it was Mumbai. And again, 94
He's forgotten
today.
anyway, because it was Mumbai. He just blanks it out.
Yeah, well, but even today, we didn't realize quite when he went to 94, because he was doing things at a certain pace and then he suddenly accelerated.
No, he has that ability, and the great thing about him is that he's not just a slogger. It's easy to say that he's a slogger, but the kind of shots he can hit in the offside as well. And that what happens is that does not allow them to bowl that length ball going up there, because he can ramp it, he can hit it straight over cover. So what happens is that they cannot focus their length on the offside. They have to keep it, they have to keep changing their length, and that's where he excels. And he's just a very powerful player.
Yeah.
That just if he had just a little bit more support and a little bit more time, a few more balls, I think this could have been a very different result, because in this atmosphere and the conditions out here, they're ideal for somebody like him. Ball coming on, ball's going to fly, fast bowlers mostly, spinners also, at least the ball is coming on to you.
Yeah.
It's not something that's sitting, and it's not too much turn. So I think he made great use after that one dropped catch. He made great use of the conditions, but he would have got support also had they had so little time to give him support towards the end. They just had to go too early.
Yeah, I think Livingston actually has made the bowling card look very expensive. We'll have a look at the bowling card. They started off with great economies. I think Mukesh Kumar had just 2 runs in his first over. Khalil had just 2 runs in his first over, and he's ended up with good figures. But Ishant Sharma got his 2, Nokia got 2. Nokia bowled really well in the end. Joy spoke about it. And Aksar got that 1. Delhi will be happy with the bowling card, not so happy with the catching.
Yeah, I think you've got to put it in perspective, don't you? You need to look at games in isolation sometimes, and certain grounds you expect the bowlers to travel. So I think they'll look at their bowling card and go, that's great. And just to kind of touch on the point of Harpreet and bowling that last over, someone like an Anrik Nokia, he's worth his weight in gold because he knows what to do at the back end and was given that opportunity. From a catching point of view, I wonder if the teams have actually spoken about it. I know there was a photo I saw on Cricbuzz of the teams kind of training side by side. But sometimes, as cricketers, we focus on the batting and bowling a lot. When we don't have a lot of time, I'll quickly have a net, right? I'll have a quick net, I'll get some overs under, good to go. But do they practice the catching? Do they practice those type of things? Because at the end of the day, that's the one thing you do as a team and the one thing you can always be involved in full 20 overs is being switched on in the field. And it's been an issue, I think. I think this IPL, we've seen some absolute classic catches, but I actually think we've seen a lot of simple catches being put down.
But Joy, it felt good to see the bowling, especially in the first 6-8 overs, what we saw. It felt like proper, it felt like we were watching a test match, but of course it was a T20 game. Good proper bowling.
Good proper bowling, but also I'd say that excellent bowling up front from Delhi, but also the spinners. If you go and have a look at the stats again, the spinners didn't go for very much. On a ground like this, you could be lofted out, and somehow Akshar has that great ability. You have a look at him, 3 overs 27. Now you say 9. But wait a minute, you're supposed to score at more than 10.5 a game to win this game. So he's still bowling effectively. And Kuldeep, 3 overs 21, he was just fantastic, varying his length, not allowing them to really settle in and really smash him. Because if you've seen that Harpreet over, you realize that in these kind of conditions, spinners can really go if they're found out. So holding your nerve, that made a huge amount of difference because they put that pressure in the middle. And after that, that run rate became so difficult that everyone had to slog.
Well, Shikhar in the post-match has said that bowling Harpreet backfired. It was a decision that has backfired. But he also said that in the power play, we didn't bowl to the correct area. So they didn't bowl to where they had planned. So not the day that Shikhar Dhawan would have wanted in the field. Because there's just certain decisions, you get lucky. And, if there was a wicket or two, and things had turned around with Harpreet bowling the last, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Oh no, we'd be saying, what a stroke of genius. I mean, who would have thought he would have bowled the last over? But the one thing is that I can tell you in my experience captaining, you really need to go with your gut. Because as soon as you start to second guess yourself, you will struggle to make decisions in the future. So yeah, he got this one wrong. I've done it once before. I bowled a part-time spinner the last over. I had my best bowler up the other end. The keeper said, Sarah Andrews has still got 1 over. And I was like, no, let's just go with the part-timer. I think it'll work. 18 runs later, they win, Victoria win. So, I've never made that mistake again. Now, I hope Shikhar doesn't make the same mistake again. But I'm glad that he at least went with his gut. I think, that's still important to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, there's that 1/3 ball where Riley Russo's run down at him, gone down at the bowler, and he's fired it wide and he swings at it and it just touches. Now, if that he misses, he's stumped.
Correct.
And he looks like a genius. Yeah, so look, these things happen. But I'll tell you one more thing. One of the things that you're taught, and we have this huge problem without it, is that we think about results. So we evaluate decisions based on result, not on process. So if you think about it, you evaluated the decision because it went for 23 runs.
Yeah.
Which is what we did in the first post.
Yeah, exactly. But the point of it is that you have to evaluate it that was it the best choice under the circumstances if he went through a process. And I'd argue that somebody who has much more experience of bowling that 20th over should have probably got a chance. So if you look at it that way, even if Brar had worked, perhaps we don't think enough about process and we think too much about results. And then post facto, we look at it.
Or the other thing is they've moneyballed it and they've gone left arm, which doesn't make sense to the left arm. I know. But maybe there's some numbers against Riley Russo, left arm around the wicket, speed in.
Because, exactly. If the strike had been different, maybe you could have looked at it differently.
I'm trying to find a way out for them, why they might have...
What was Shikhar thinking?
I know, but he's just come out and been honest and said, well, it misfired. It was probably his gut which said that, I think it's going to be Harpreet Brar. It wasn't to be. But it was to be Riley Russo's day, and he is our omni-gel relief and recovery performer of the match because he got 82 of 37. That strike rate of 221, there's been so much discussed on strike rate. Everyone would want to see a strike rate like that.
No, absolutely. And the acceleration that he gave them through to the end. And that was really important for them because Delhi has had this problem where they've scored runs, the batsman has got out and their run rate has suddenly plummeted. And this time he just did not allow that to happen. Even though this one got out at the other end, Prithvi Shaw got out at the other end, he did not allow that run rate to struggle. And I think that's the one thing, again, very experienced county player, has played a lot of cricket in England, therefore is used to conditions, varyingly different conditions, because in England you're traveling from pitch to pitch,
Yes.
You're playing 20 different surfaces in a month, 2 months, 3 months. So that experience he's brought to the situation, I think he was very, very good.
Lisa, he's spoken about how he's improved against spin in those county stings that he had, and he said that that's something he really wanted to work on, and now he feels proud that he's a much more improved batter than what he used to be against spin.
Yeah, it says a lot for players at a domestic, and I say domestic because he was a cold pack player for a long time over there. He scored over 600 runs the last domestic summer, and then got the 100 contract, and then came back into the South African side. The weight of runs to be able to turn up week in, week out and keep producing different bowling attacks, different conditions, whether it be pitch, overhead, opposition, and to be able to switch your mind on and figure out your game. I know youngsters come in and they do really well initially, but it shows you as well an experienced player who goes around, masters their craft, and then comes back a better player. And he's done so well across so many different formats and competitions. IPL was probably the one missing, but we saw that tonight, which was really special.
I mean, look at his career. What is he? 2008 Under-19 World Cup star. Supposed to be the next guy. Like there was Virat Kohli for India, that's Riley Russo. Yeah. He was considered that good. Hot prospect for South Africa. And then suddenly, just doesn't get enough runs. And so these hot prospects fizzle out. And what happens? Then he goes to England, scores those runs, rediscovers himself. So a star at 20, who everyone thought had fizzled out by 23, comes back at 30 to make it. It's a great story. It shows you resilience, it shows you character. And I think he'll also enjoy it much more because he knows exactly what it's like to sit outside and wonder why he didn't make it.
Yeah. Well, this was his first IPL 50 also, which is why he was our Omni Gel Relief and Recovery Performer of the match. He ensured that there was no dard for fans of Delhi today. And Delhi will also feel proud because they will have kept their pride intact. That's something that David Warner was talking about. And he said that, we are playing to keep our pride intact, and they've done that today.
Yeah, there was smiles in the dugouts as well.
We've not seen those smiles all through the IPL.
Throughout.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling because they're exhausted mentally, physically from everything. And you feel, I'm sure the management team have gone, we have tried everything and nothing has worked. But to actually go out there and see the guys play with that freedom, what really set it up was the opening partnership. I know they did that a previous game and then it fell away, but Prithvi Shaw, being able to score 50, after a very, very long time is a goodwill factor there. And I think that just rubbed off on the rest of the team, and they were able to keep their nerve in the end.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the points table now because Punjab's chances to the playoffs now are, fading away. They're 8, they're still at 12. So Delhi have played spoil sport. Joy, who all will be celebrating this win today?
So first and foremost, you'll have the closest to them, their brothers, Rajasthan and Kolkata, because all those three teams, now Punjab, Rajasthan, Kolkata, all can reach 14. That's the maximum they can reach. So Rajasthan, Kolkata will also be hoping everyone's dragged down to their level. But if you look above that, Bangalore will be celebrating because now they know that Punjab can't reach 16. Mumbai will be celebrating for exactly the same reason. And Lucknow and Chennai will also be celebrating because they are now sure that at least one team can't go above them. So every team is celebrating other than Punjab themselves. It's just one of those days where a result in one team's favour just helps every other team.
Yeah. We just have a look at the remaining, league games. So there is Hyderabad playing Bangalore tomorrow, and Punjab, Rajasthan play
again, now Hyderabad playing Bangalore, everyone now supports, other than Bangalore, supports
Hyderabad, yes.
Punjab, Rajasthan is interesting because right now, Punjab and Rajasthan are in the same boat. They're 6 and 7 each.
So they can either go to 14, one of these two.
One of these will go to 14. Yes. And if we go back to the previous, can we go back to the
I was going to say the net run rate is a real issue for
it's a big
Punjab.
one, yeah. So Punjab versus Rajasthan, yes, I think that's a problem. That Punjab, Rajasthan, if Rajasthan win, Rajasthan will put themselves into a really good position because run rate will matter. The only other team that can catch up in that 14 area is Kolkata. So whatever they'll try and do, what Rajasthan will try and ensure is to be the highest 14 possible. Try and improve their run rate to be the highest 14 possible. And then hope that if by chance a team on 14 qualifies, they are the best among the 3 teams out there.
I think Kolkata plays Lucknow at the Eden Gardens, so that will also be a decider for Kolkata, or they will be depending on strike rates.
By that time, things might have already been decided.
Okay.
Because it also depends on the other games. But see, at that point in time, if you see when they are playing,
20.
Kolkata plays Lucknow. By that time, Chennai, it doesn't matter anymore. No, nothing will have been decided by then. Kolkata will still have a chance at 14 because really after that, it depends on what Bangalore does in the last match as well.
All right.
But everyone will be tuning in tomorrow night.
I'm sorry?
Everyone will be tuning in tomorrow night.
So pretty
'cause
much
that's the
all
biggest
the
one.
teams will be,
Out of all of the games, I reckon that's the biggest one because if Hyderabad win, then everyone's in with a chance again almost.
yeah.
So then if Hyderabad win, the 14 becomes something which might become a possibility. Because see, you have now 3 teams over 14.
Yeah.
You have 16, 15 and 15. But 14 opens up everywhere. There's a lot
Has
of
it
teams.
ever been so close, Joy, in the IPL, where it's been...
I've seen an 8-team table which has been close, where 4 teams have sat on 7 each. But a 10-team table being so close, I've rarely seen. And also,
And I've seen teams qualify on 14, like the last spot.
yeah, but remember one thing. Teams qualifying on 14 were common in 8-team leagues,
Yeah, not 10.
not 10-team leagues.
All right, so tomorrow is that crucial game where everyone is going to be, all the teams are going to be rooting for Hyderabad. Hyderabad takes on Bangalore. This is match number 65 at Hyderabad. Of course, except for Bangalore. Bangalore really wants this win. And they're coming off, well, that game which nobody would have expected, where their run rate's gone like there. Because 59 all out against Rajasthan, no one expected that. Pommy Mbangwa went viral. I don't know if you saw his video, but it was hilarious. He was the topic of discussion that day. And of course, Hyderabad lost to Gujarat. So they look again like a team which you don't know which team they're going to wake up with.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at Bangalore's team first if we can. Well, KGF, that's our, Glenn Maxwell, Virat and Faf have always been performing. But Lomror played well. He's looking like he's coming into the groove. So things looking good for Bangalore considering what they're coming out of.
Yeah, now I think definitely Parnell is going to play. After his performance in the last match, Parnell definitely plays. And I think now that team is set, and Karan Sharma, you would want a guy who keeps winning IPL tournaments. You know, he's got enough championship rings, more than any of the others have. So definitely you would want him to be there. Look, this is still a team that has a lot of weaknesses, but that sheer firepower of Du Plessis and Maxwell up front, I think that is the difference that they have. If those two can make it happen, because in this tournament, Virat is not scoring at the rate at which teams consistently win matches. So whether we like it or not, it's the others, the guys scoring at 180, 200 who are really winning it for them. And I think Bangalore needs them to strike. They're up against a Hyderabad team who's in disarray right now and wondering how this season went. So that's not a bad place to be in at all.
Yeah, and Hyderabad's home record is poor. They've only won one game, and I think it was like a long time ago. It was the start of the tournament, really. So not a happy hunting ground for them. RCB, and you also think about the ground, you think about the pitches now, what it's like. So big ground, so you think spinners will come into its own, so Bracewell, Karun Sharma as well.
Do you think a Hasaranga comes in? Or
No, I don't think so. I think they keep with Wayne Parnell, and I think they like their internationals, and Bracewell gives them from a batting point of view as well, but then a few overs with the ball. So I think they might stick with that. But yeah, and then you look at RCB, they've been excellent in the power play from a bowling point of view. Actually, both batting and bowling, in the sense Faf has been going hard, but then Siraj has been excellent with the ball in hand. So I think they're starting to get close to their best 11 for these kind of pitches that we're going to start to see.
Well, even Anuj Rawat came good, 29 of 11 in the last game. He was keeping as well because I think DK wasn't well. But DK also has shown glimpses of what he can do. So if it all comes together, they're peaking correctly, Bangalore.
I thought their last match was spectacular, given the kind of team, you know, people thought it would be a close match.
Yeah.
If anything, advantage Rajasthan. You know? And that counter punch was really hard. And it would have set a lot of teams thinking about what's happening. And remember, they actually, they can reach 16. Bangalore will be thinking, we don't want to put our fate in anyone else's hands.
Yeah.
So they'll be going hard.
And the other thing as well is Maxwell. He's so good against spin, like so good in these type of conditions. And, you know, back-to-back half centuries, he's looking good.
We look at Hyderabad's playing 11 because, well, they have nothing to lose besides a lot of people cheering for them, lots of teams cheering for them. Do you think a Harry Brook will come back in, considering this could be, well, the end of the road? It is the end of the road for Hyderabad. Give him another chance?
I'm just trying to think, your internationals, who don't you want to play?
Or maybe a Mayank Agarwal, like we saw Prithvi come in today. Just put some confidence into your Indian,
Yeah, look, either you play Mayank Agarwal or you don't think about retaining him too much. You know, again, somebody like a Glenn Phillips missing out is something I just do not understand.
Yeah.
You know, after that 25 ball 7 and then he just walks out of the team. So I think there are lots of things out there which last time what they tried to do was they tried to have a bolstered bowling attack with Jansen, Fazal Faruqi, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Natarajan, a good fast bowling attack. It's not really worked, and in these conditions, I don't think Fazal Faruqi plays. So if they bowl that one international fast bowler, it'll probably be Marco Jansen, and therefore you would probably expect somebody like a Phillips probably to get his place back. Phillips, Harry Brook, I would go Glenn Phillips at this point in time because I think forget everything else. For the sake of the team, for the sake of the morale, they'll go for a win. They're not going to try and test things out there.
No.
They're just going to try and go for a win.
But Lisa, it is that point in the league for them to, they're probably thinking of what next, right? What happens in the next season. So try mixing around people to see who's going to be retained and who's not.
Yeah. Again, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the management meetings and kind of understand the conversations that they're having. Are they just purely now focusing, or is I know there's pride, but is there also some individual players going, hang on, I want to play because I want to retain my spot next year. I don't want to potentially go into the auction because I may not get picked up. So there'll be a lot of thoughts. So they'll need a strong leader, whether it comes from management or from their skipper, just to get them all thinking on the one page. And maybe that's been their issue. There's been maybe too many chefs in the kitchen or whatever it may be. It hasn't worked for them. So someone needs to lead from the front. I'm not sure who that will be, but maybe Aidan Markram. I mean, we've spoken a couple of times on this show how successful he's been. Hasn't worked for him. So it's his last throw of the dice as well.
All right, so your players to watch out for tomorrow, considering Lisa has got them all right today. Maybe Joy, you go first.
Look, I think key for Hyderabad is on these kind of pitches, I'm going to go with Henrik Klaasen because he just bats really well in these conditions. So Klaasen is somebody I'm definitely looking at from one side. And the second, and it's again a very tried choice, as in a very obvious choice, but it's difficult to look beyond the all-round abilities of Glenn Maxwell. And given the form he's on, Glenn Maxwell is also a very streaky player. When he tends to get runs, he tends to get them in bunches. So I'm going to go Maxwell and Klaasen.
Lisa's looking through all her notes. She's looking through...
That's because I stole her answers.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. So I'm going to go a little bit left field. And we didn't bring this up when we were talking about the team. But maybe Akil Hussain. Yeah, left field.
Interesting.
You like that one, yeah.
Interesting.
Because I think he can actually provide something with the bat as well. Yeah. Excellent in the field and bowls handy. So there's that one. And then for Bangalore, I actually think Virat.
Well, all Bangalore fans want to see a Virat knock. A nice, fast Virat knock maybe tomorrow is what all Bangalore fans want to see. And all the fans also want the answer to Joy Bhattacharya's question. So please, Mr. Bhattacharya.
This is an easy one, but it's a fun one. What connects Sachin and Shaurav with Pommy and Rajat Bhatia? Would you like to tell us
Yeah, this is one which I knew. It is the MRF Academy, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
right? They
So
all
they-
trained there.
They all trained the MRF Pace Academy,
Huh?
including Sachin Tendulkar.
Sachin.
Yes, Sachin at
Wanted to be
15 thought that.
He'll
So
be a fast bowler.
and Saurav Ganguly wanted to be a fast bowler.
Really?
And that's when they first met. And I think Sachin played a prank on Saurav Ganguly, put a water hose in his room and released the water and did all sorts of stuff.
Oh, when they were that young.
I think, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Pommy is, of course, been a part of the MRF
Yeah.
Pace. So he's spent time there. And Rajat Bhatia. And I always tease Rajat that, it was called the Pace Academy. The word pace was...
Did you not see that in
was
the
it in the fine
application?
print? But no, it was. And I mean, Rajat is also always says he's a better bowler for the kind of skills he learns out there. So, brilliant place. I mean, just now they put out, I was just looking at it, they produced with Avesh, I think they produced their 24th international bowler for India.
Well, you all have it. Lots of people got those answers. Let's see who got it the quickest. It is Rajesh Reddy. We've seen Rajesh's
see.
name
Yeah.
a whole lot of
Rajesh
times.
has been around. I think he's just got
Quickly,
the
yeah.
fastest. Just-
It's that fastest finger first. The
Today was the
KBC. I think
fastest
he
finger
must have
first
got a lot of KBC answers as well, because it's just the quickest fingers that get the answers. Well, we have managed something historic today. Guess the time.
Whoa.
48.
Yeah, it's 11:48. Everyone played very quickly in spite of the, number of reviews taken, the number of catches dropped. We've still managed to finish it within today. So I want to thank you all for today, for making it so much fun as always. And for Lisa, again, getting everything right.
Hey.
Getting everything right.
You watch me fail miserably tomorrow. You're with us tomorrow, right?
Yes, I am in tomorrow. Is Joy in tomorrow? You're off.
I'm on a plane tomorrow.
Ooh, high flying. We have high flying people at Cricbuzz, so Joy will not be joining us tomorrow. There's Lisa, and of course, we always have a lot of interesting people coming in. So you all join in tomorrow at 7 p.m. because we are going to rush now, and Mr. Bhattacharya is going to go party his last night in Bombay. So we'll let him go. We'll let him go and party, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night and goodbye.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Punjab Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें